I'm Melanie Lewandon and I'm going to be taking you through my ombre snowflake tutorial. Massive thanks to one of the indigo educators on Instagram who the inspiration for this was from. I've changed it around slightly so it makes it a little bit more viable for salon, so it's a little bit quicker. So we're going to start out with two pale colours for your gel polish background. I'm using just a pale blue. What I am going to do is include colours for various brands on my bio, so you can see that. So that's two coats of pale blue and Cure. You can see on the back there, I've used a lilac, you could use a pale pink, any pastel-y colours would work with this. So this is Crystal Nails and it's the pink aura powder, I think it's called, Aurora powder. Now, you can use this as a mirror powder over a no white top coat, but I want to press it in. I want it to be sparkly and almost icy. So with the sticky layer and with a gloved hand, I'm going to press in some of this Aurora powder until it's covered that whole sticky surface. And then once that's done and covered and I'm happy with that, I'm going to use a no wipe top coat on the surface of this to make it shiny and a nice slippy surface that I can paint on. So I absolutely love having one or two top coats, especially when I'm using pigments and powders and glitters. I always keep a spare one for that so I don't contaminate my plain gel top coat. So I always keep a couple of spares there. So top coat that, pop that in for 2 minutes. While that's in, I'm going to grab a palette. Now on this palette, I have got a mauvey purpley brown colour, a dark blue, a teal, a pink, a purple and a dark purple. And I'm just going to put a blob of no white top coat next to each of these. What I'm going to be doing with this very shortly is making them into glass gel. So semi-transparent gels, okay? But I'm going to be using this browny mauve to start with, and I'll come back to the others in a second. So once that's out, I'm going to grab my dotting tool and I'm going to start by painting a large circle of the mauvey brown into the centre of my nail. Okay, so we're going to make a star shape. So I'm doing one that's very similar to the purple one that you can see on there, slightly different size. So we're going to start by just painting a big circle with the dotting end in the middle of the nail. And then I'm going to grab my long brush. So I'm using my Elise brush from Flo and Ellie. And I'll include that on here as well, the link for that. And I'm going to pull out some points. So I'm going to be putting in 6 lines. So I'm going to start with a cross. So I'm going to go through the centre of that circle and through the other side, and then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to do the same across. So I'm going to go through the centre to the side, and then I'm going to pull out another 4 points. 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is going to help us guide and make our points. I'm going to load my brush now with the gel and I'm going to start making triangles and filling those in. So use the lines as a guide to make your triangles, and this is just the background. So we're going to paint over this. This is just something that it goes on to. The finished product is slightly raised, which is why I like it. So as you can see, I'm just going in and just creating a point. When you watch the lady from Indigo Nails do it, oh my God, she's just awesome to watch. And again, I just thank her for the inspiration for this. It's amazing. The technique is just lovely and I can't wait to play with it, to be fair. So pop on your triangles. And I'm just going to work my way around my circle now, pulling out those large triangles. Those lines are brilliant guides. It also helps you get your shape symmetrical. So just keep filling those in, bringing them down to a point so it makes a very big mauvey brown star. And then when we have done that, we're going to pop that in the lamp to cure for 2 minutes. And we're going to get ready for our next step. And for this next step, we're going to need some white gel paint. Now you can do this with gel polish, but you'll have to flash cure in between each section so it doesn't self-level. I'm using gel paint because it doesn't self-level. It stays exactly where I put it, and it's really thick and pigmented. So I'm going to leave a small gap around the edge, and I'm going to start drawing chevrons, diamonds that join up into the middle of the star. So leaving that point, I'm going to put a dot in the middle, and I'm going to bring all of my diamonds into that point. So the point in the middle of the star, I'm going to bring all my diamonds there, leaving that tiny gap so you can just see that brown behind it. Okay. Now this is way easier than painting white and then having to paint a dark line. It's much I to paint this large surface area than it is to actually go in between white and do it that way. So I actually love this, the fact that it does get it absolutely dead neat, dead tidy. So just keep going round and painting all those triangles in around your star. You've got loads of time as well. I mean, obviously these are small nails, they're size 1. But when you're doing them on a client, you may find that it is a little bit smaller and you just need to tailor your design slightly. And play around with different things. I know the educator from Indigo, she did deer heads and it was just awesome. I'm going to have a play with it and see if I can change the colours slightly. So I'm just filling in those diamond shapes. Now, if you do go wrong at this point, so I've kind of gone out the line a little bit on the far chevron, I'm just going to clean my brush and use my brush to wipe it up and just reapply a little bit of the dark brown. So I'm just going to clean that up and then just pop that line back in. There we go, and cure. So now we're going to mix our colour with the little bit, so we're just going to move some colour over and mix it in with that top coat. What we're looking for is a semi-transparent gel. So you see my face in my palette, it's that shiny. So a semi-transparent gel. So I'm just going to mix those down until I'm happy. And we're going to use these for the fading in and out. Okay, you can use any colours. I don't show you on this one, but I have done on the other one. I actually use 4 colours, but on this one I'm just going to show you with 2 colours because it's easier and it's great for a tutorial, but you can experiment with this. On the larger one I did use 4 different colours, actually 6 I think the different colours on that one, just trying to shade it. So what we're going to do is start from the top of one of the points, and I'm going to start this with pink, a bright pink, and I'm going to grab my glass gel. This is my no white top coat. I'm just going to pop a little blob down there because I'm going to need that in a second. If you haven't got that, if you've got blooming gel, then pop a little bit of that down, or even base coat. We just want something clear and fluid. So I'm going to start with my pink glass gel, and I'm going to offload it into a small triangle onto my white at the top of this point. And I'm just going to paint a small triangle, clean my brush, and then I'm going to come in with some clear gel or blooming gel or base coat, and I'm going to paint in the rest of that chevron. And then with my brush I'm going to start to blend that colour down and let it start to bloom and mix in. And then I'm going to grab the aqua green and I'm going to turn my chevron round, and I'm going to pop my green at the bottom edge. Now what you can do when this is dry, you can go back in with a dark purple at the top on top of the pink and a dark blue on top of the green at the bottom to give it even more depth. But like I say, for this tutorial I'm just literally doing it with 2 colours just for ease. So I'm just blending those together, filling in any gaps because it will start to shrink in if you're not quick. So just kind of fill it out, and we're going to do that all the way round. I'm just going to flash cure this in between as well so I don't put my finger in it. So I'm just going to speed this up now. So again, I'll explain again. Once you've actually done this bit, when you go round again, you can use a little tiny bit of top coat, and you could put some really deep purple over the top of the pink just on the edge, so it makes it look darker around the edge. And over the top of the green at the bottom, you could put a real royal blue glass gel just right in the centre, just to create that little bit of darkness. But I think it looks great without doing that. So keep flash curing these, and I'm just going to carry on going round. So you glass gels, so you can mix your normal gel polish with top coat, with base coat, however you need to mix them, as long as it's a clear fluid to make your own glass gels. You can buy glass gel. I know that the gel bottles sell their own brand of glass gel. I know Smiley's Glitter Store, they sell glass gel. And I think Nail Chemie do glass gels as well. So it'd be handy to have them. And then you won't have to mix your colours, you can just use the glass gel, but you don't need to put that expense out there. You can just make your own. It does need to be semi-transparent. It's no good it being really pigmented, because we want it to blend, we want it to blend out. There's something super therapeutic about this, to be fair. Just painting an ombre in. So all I'm doing is putting the pink, then the clear gel or the blooming gel, blending it down, and then adding the green at the bottom and blending that in as well, leaving a little white gap in the middle. But you can see now all those layers building up. And then when you've got round to your last one, I'm going to cure that in a lamp for a minute. Then I'm going to get a top coat matte, no wipe matte top coat. If it's a wipey matte, that's fine, we'll just wipe it after. Make sure that you go properly over the star, because the snowflake, because it is slightly raised, so you don't want to miss any bits, especially with you having shiny underneath. You don't want little shiny gaps. So this is Mystic Nails Matte and Go. That's going in the lamp. And then I'm going to get my no wipe gel paint again. Okay, needs to be no wipe because we're not going to top coat this. And what I'm going to do is, using my fine lines, I'm going to go around the edge of each of these diamonds, highlighting the shape. And I'm also going to do a little almost cut diamond look to each of these chevrons. So if you watch what I do here, I pop a dot in the middle, and then I put two lines going out towards the edge and a line from the top, so it looks like a facet. And I'm going to do that on all of them. And this is where you can let your imagination go absolutely crazy. You can add anything you want in here with these white highlights to make it look just amazing. So I'm going to carry on and do the whole way around this star. I think using the tack-free gel paint to make these areas, it just really finishes it off and makes it stick out, makes it look much more than just a flat piece of art. So I'm just going to go around, just going to do everything the same all the way around. And then just finally, I'm just going to add a little white dot with my dotting tool right in the middle. And then I'm going to pop it into the lamp to cure. Lovely. There it is. So it's out the lamp now. And what I'm going to do now is, using clear gel or a blooming gel, I'm going to draw little tiny icicle chevrons and then quickly flash cure them. These will be slightly raised, and it will make the pigment on the polish underneath through the matte look really shiny and give it another texture, so it's like another layer. So I'm just doing 3 little chevrons. Now, if anybody's having problems with the fine lines, I do own my own line of educational mattes with tutorials and workbooks, and at the moment I've got 1 stroke, fine lines and acrylic skills. And what these do is it teaches you the very basic fundamentals of how to draw a straight line, how to draw a petal, how to control your brush, how to control your paint. And I will also include the lockdown code and the website address for them. So I'm just adding these clear glass droplets on, that's what it is, and just flash curing because they will start to self level. So I'm just flash curing in between just so they don't self level out and just end up being a mush. So that's them, my little icy snowflakes. And then to finish off, a little bit of gem glue gel in the middle there. And I'm going to put a beautiful blue gem in the centre. You don't have to, but you can. You could also sugar these white lines and make it look like really different. So there you have it, my beautiful snowflake. Here's a few variations on the design, different backgrounds. So have a little play with it. Nip over to Magnifique Indigo Nails, I think it's called. She's done some amazing ones with deer on and things like that. They're absolutely awesome. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Hit the subscribe button, show me some love. There's a lot more where this came from. And goodbye from sunny Derby.